Before we begin, I need to introduce a bit of context. Way back when, we discovered a bit of tech I called ostrich percent. In Armored Core 6, it appears that enemy ACs are programmed to target your head. And by this I mean, if the enemy AC can't see your head, you basically don't exist. This is a weird interaction we discovered against Iguazu, but we never found much use for it. The idea was relevant, because we knew that an enemy won't repair if it can't see your head, but full ostrich percent was never applicable, until now. At the start of Chapter 4, we unlocked the turrets. This created what I call the Energy Fortress. The Energy Fortress typically involves getting into a safe position, setting up as many drones as possible, waiting until the last second to deploy pulse protection, using a support weapon and deploying more drones to secure a stagger, and a bunker or a saw to complete the job. This is how we would eliminate G6 Red. Our new strat for Red uses the logic of ostrich percent, but instead we use a pole to hide our head. This is called pole strat. We wait for Red to approach and stagger with assault armor and bunk to him. We used to use the Energy Fortress on Nosaac as well, but now we have a few new options. Part 1 of the fight is skirting around the map to find a specific building combination. Part 2 is keeping a building between us and either using vertical pulse missiles or turrets to deal damage for us. In the past, we didn't have a great strategy for Maeterlinck. Her bubble weapon always made the Energy Fortress not viable, and her use of shield made her chances of getting staggered too low. The strategy now is to take advantage of the arena's outrageous height and Maeterlinck's almost inability to fly basically at all. From here, we only need to get Maeterlinck within lock-on range twice to eliminate her. Since we never really had a great strategy for Maeterlinck, we didn't consider a strategy for Ziyi. Ziyi isn't a big threat, but we still want to play it safe here. We can use the same strategy we use for Nosaac for an easy fight. Finally, we can start our first actual mission. First up is Depth 1 and Nepenthes. The strategy is the same, but we've replaced the songbirds as they are found to not actually be helpful. Instead, we bring vertical pulse missiles to deal with the minor amount of fodder before dealing with Nepenthes. Depth 2 has seen the biggest change. In the past, we would use the Energy Fortress, but there was a bit of RNG. We had to hope the Enforcer would initially jump in the correct direction, and even if it did, we would run into issues where we would have to stagger it before the pulse protection expires. Beyond even that, even if we got the stagger, we need to push the Enforcer into the wall to maximize the stagger duration. Our new strategy isn't without fault, but it is far cleaner. We initially position ourselves against the wall, but instantly move into range and assault armor and Zimmerman for the stagger. We then use the punch-Zimmerman combination to maintain the stagger and use the turrets for damage. Before we even get to the Enforcer, we need to face Iguazu. Again, this is a situation where we would use the Energy Fortress, but also suffered from RNG issues. Although we knew the potential of ostrich percent, we didn't realize its true power. With quad legs we can hover and just make ourselves straight up invisible to Iguazu by actually shoving our head into this box. Since we have assault armor, we can safely stagger Iguazu and use a punch to keep the stagger going while we charge our chainsaw for the kill. Depth 3 has a minor change in using napalm launchers to deal with the MTs safely. There is no way to get around Ephemera's terminal armor, so the rest of the build stays the same. We now reach what would be considered the most surprising part of this video. The Vespers is a mission with the highest amount of RNG. The best strategy we could come up with was setting up an Energy Fortress to eliminate Hawkins first, which already required a decent amount of RNG. Then we would need to eliminate Pater twice due to his terminal armor. The issue here is that we don't want to aggro Pater, so we can't poke too much, and Flatwell's only operating at 20%. Just to add insult to injury, Flatwell will try to kick Pater anytime he gets staggered, so good luck using a bunker or chainsaw. So what do we do here? How can we possibly make this fight any more consistent? We actually did the unthinkable. That's right, we're doing the red guns instead. Touted as the fodder mission. We have to deal with 50 MTs, an ungodly number of flies, 2 tetrapods, and the man himself, Michigan. The strategy is mostly knowing where and when each wave spawns and being in the right position to deploy turrets to deal with it. Unsurprisingly, we set up an energy fortress in the corner for Michigan. This may seem crazy, but after some practice I have done it several times and even done it a few times in a Chapter 4 run. This is far and away a much more reliable mission than the Vespers. The Coral Convergence is next and is divided into 2 parts, which have minor changes. Our original plan was to use an energy fortress on Maeterlinck and Wu, but this is somewhat difficult to execute, as you needed to do it once, escape, and then do it again. The new plan we started to work on, but didn't refine, is to use Jav Beta and Lamb Legs in hover mode at the edge of the map. This area has some weird geometry that the ACs will kind of just hang out on as long as you don't venture too far. The trick here is being able to scan and lock onto them when they are directly above you. Hard lock on is a must. From here, we can use our missiles to safely deal with them. It is possible that we will make more discoveries, but this is our current route for Chapter 4 in 2026. Thanks for watching.